Well, welcome everybody to the Aries Tarrington show. And you have to wonder, is my special guest the 1/6thScaleMan? And I say yes. Welcome, Lael.
How you doing, man?
I am doing absolutely phenomenal.
It's
yeah. Man, I mean, dude, I don't even know where to begin. And I know that we were talking backstage and just being real, we figured to just bring the conversation live.
Just bring it live. Just go off the cup. Doesn't really matter. We'll just go live and just talk about it. Why not?
Well, I have topics planned for today, but I didn't do a whole lot, but I kind of knew where I wanted to go. But one thing I want to talk about as we get started here, and welcome everybody to the Aries Tarrington show live. I am super stoked to have Lael in here from 1/6thScaleMan. We kind of share something in common very, very recently.
Yeah.
First, I want to say congratulations on reaching 2K subs.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It's been a journey. We still got some time to go, but I'm just excited to be here, man. I mean, I'm excited to be in the company of good people, people in the chat, people that, have actually joined the channel, being able to stream with great people such as yourself. Love the channel, love the content. So I'm just excited, man. I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I was really excited to hear that you hit 2K, and welcome everybody who's in here. I'm going to flash some of these comments on the screen. X Magical 99. Got to get the spotchka ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it's the Aries Tarrington show, did you not think I didn't have the spotchka? I'm serving it all up, baby. Primetime Review says, Lael, got to get that coffee brewing. Look, I got the pot right here.
Yeah. Yes.
Lael, it's I don't know. That's one of the topics I want to talk about because, first of all, I'm going to be live on your show tonight.
Yes.
Say what at 9:15 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern.
Yes.
And I know how much you put into your content and what you do, and I guess and I'm going to flash this on the screen, and because we both kind of hit this, and I guess this is one topic I had prepared: 2K subs.
Yes.
Why we create content, and I'm gonna. It was very special for me, when I hit this last Friday.
And congrats to you as well, bro.
well, and thank you so much. And I wanted to talk to you because I know how much goes into this.
Yeah.
Why do we do this? I think it'd be interesting for the people to hear. I mean, I know for me, I'm so passionate about collecting, and I really, I'm kind of like giddy, like a schoolboy when it comes to these Hot Toys figures. And honestly, for me, I haven't been that way since I was a kid because I felt like I was collecting Hasbro and Black Series and some other things more of a, I don't know. We can kind of get into it, but I just, I was like, you know what? I so love this stuff. I want to create a channel. Why do you do it? Why is it that we all do it?
I think, like you already touched on, it's something that we have a chance to really share our experiences with other people, like-minded individuals. We have so many people, who are just like us. They love to collect. They love to share ideas. Like some of them, just like us, don't have really too many people to really talk to about it. or to share these conversations with, within our own personal lives and stuff like that. I have friends, I have a lot of geek friends. Like we hang out, like we're just, we're in the comics, we're in the movies, we're in the, certain things, but none of which are into collecting the way I am. And they collect on the scale that I collect on. So, to have those conversations with them sometimes could be mute because they love it, but they just won't do it. You know what I mean? But to have a community where we can have these conversations, we can share these ideas, we can reach out to individuals and meet people. It's networking, socialize, bring attention to new product. Sometimes they depend on our conversations to really, decide whether or not they want to pick up certain figures, or would it be good to really understand what's going on in the marketplace, what's up and coming, and just have some fun. You know what I mean? This is an escape from, just reality the way we know it. So, you know what I mean, to have that or a platform to do it. Like, I mean, I've only been live now for, I would say, almost a year now. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Almost a year that I've actually been doing it. I didn't start my channel until like late in the game. I mean, I started my channel, but I didn't really like devote that much focus to it until I would say like last summer. To be quite honest, like the not last summer,
Hmm.
but basically actually in February. I would say basically either February or March, around that time, that I didn't really devote too much time into, really pushing forward and doing it the way I want to do it.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, it's I just love, just to have this community where I can actually just share ideas, meet individuals. Also, there's all walks of life. So many different nationalities. We have women collectors. Who, and they like to really talk and share ideas and stuff like that. And just to create a space where people can feel welcome is something that I've always wanted to do. The thing is, the part of being a content creator is to cover all spectrums, whether
Hmm.
it's collecting, or live chats, live streams, or even content that you create with just basic videos and stuff like that. That all rounds it out, and I think everybody, all of us who do this, you have to genuinely have a passion and love for what you do, and always want to put those vibes out there for people to kind of like just come in and
Hmm.
take a seat, feel like they're part of a culture that's really accepting. So I mean, I that's mainly one of the biggest reasons why I do it. I love collecting. I mean, I love these pieces, to have a bit of nostalgia from just years of enjoying comics, enjoying films. Star Wars is like my number one IP, of course. But yeah, I mean, that's why we do it, and I think that
Hmm.
we don't, for people like us, and I'm pretty sure you're the same way. It's the success is for us is to see the gratification with other people as far as in the chat, and when they say, look, you've helped us through certain situations or helped us decide on whether or not whatever, and they feel like, yo, hey, I just love to come in and chat with you guys, and for them to feel recognized. And that's why I always make it a point at the end of my, or even sometimes at the beginning, both at the beginning and end of my shows, to always mention people in the chat, to always bring attention to them and to thank them for actually coming on board,
Hmm.
and just put those
Hmm.
vibes out there, to be very accepting, because I'm one of them. They're just like me. So yeah, that's what I think it is, man. I mean, that's why we do it.
No, and that's really good stuff, and you kind of open up some topics that I think is real fun and real to talk about. I mean, one of the reasons I do live
Mm-hmm.
and raw is I guess a reason like how you end your shows.
Mm-hmm.
Live and raw is just me, but I feel like I can
Yeah.
connect
Yeah.
with everybody in the chat
Yep.
on a more real basis. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so I feel like that's really good to do live and raw because I
Yeah.
feel like I'm able to give that attention
Yeah.
and give back.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking about giving back, you brought up a couple of good points. You're saying I feel like you're saying for me, which is the same thing you were saying, sharing the passion
Mm-hmm.
and passing on knowledge. So I know
Mm-hmm.
for me,
Yeah.
when I first started this channel,
Mm-hmm.
I actually had the website
Yeah.
uh, uh, a few months beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
and it's kind of funny because I'm making this website. I'm really into hot toys. Put in
Mm-hmm.
sixscalecantina.com
Yeah.
and start doing the market chart, start doing the things that I would do in collecting. And
Mm-hmm.
boy, I said, boy, I'm having so much fun with this. And then I was talking to my wife. And she was like, "Hey, I saw you bought a website. What's going on?" And then
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "You know what? Why don't you do it?" She sees me watching these channels. Why don't you do a channel? And I said,
Mm-hmm.
"Who's gonna want to watch this old guy?" And I kept thinking about it. She's like, "Well, I think it'll be really good for you, blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah, that type of thing." And use some broadcasting experience that I had from the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I I want to spread this passion. I
Yeah.
want to impart some of my knowledge. I want to share
Mm-hmm.
some of the knowledge
Mm-hmm.
and pass it on. So I think that you brought up a great point, Lael. If you want to contribute
Yeah.
to the community and share with the people who are collecting these.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much what it's all about. And that's why we do it. I mean, the thing is, it's like I was talking to a friend of mine. He actually um got me. Well, it was a combination of different individuals. Number one, gotta give credit to my mother, for always supporting me and and just like telling me to just kind of dive headfirst into certain things, and if I
Hmm.
have ideas and if there's things that I want to do, do it. And then another person is definitely my lady, well, my fiance Latoya T. She actually always told me, she, when she first found out and we first met, and she knew that, I was a collector, and, I was so submersed in this, this culture. She was like, "Wow, go live, do live shows, do videos, do unboxings and stuff like that, reviews, and just go head first." You know what I mean? And the only thing you can actually do is just jump without a parachute. If you land, at least you can actually say you flew for a minute. You know what I mean? So, and that's how it is. It's like, what I mean. It's an excitement for me. I don't. The thing is, when I tell people, like, I don't do this, uh, you know, as an actual business. Whatever gains come from that, I'm like, fine. But it started out with just mainly socializing with individuals, like-minded individuals, and creating that space. And whatever grows out of that, it just grows. But in any case, it's just all about collecting and sharing and talking about what's new and looking at other people's collections, and you know what I mean. Like, this is what we do it for. Like, we it's and it's a and we see that this culture continues to grow. It's getting bigger. It's getting, it's always expanding, and I think that's great.
Yeah, and 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 echoing that, I mean, for for me, like people ask me, boy, you put a lot of time into that market value chart.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it is a labor of love, but the key word is love because I love to
Mm-hmm.
do it. So to be
Mm-hmm.
honest with you, Lael,
Mm-hmm.
that this really isn't a job
No.
for me.
No.
I enjoy doing it. I'm going to do it anyway, in a
Yeah.
way. I mean, obviously, I do it a little bit different now because I've got the
Mm-hmm.
channel
Yeah.
and I've got that. But the one thing, and this is real, this is real interesting because you brought this up. There's nobody. I'll have like family come over the house, and I'll have my
Mm-hmm.
brother-in-law come over the house, and
Mm-hmm.
he'd be like, you're whacked out, dude. This is the most insane thing I ever seen. That you got so much of this
Yeah.
Star Wars stuff, and we connect in a very real way. We're very good friends, but they don't understand
Mm-hmm.
exactly what it is that you and I do,
Yeah.
and what the
Yeah.
community does. So you brought that up in the beginning,
Yeah.
coming together with like-minded individuals, and I
Yeah.
feel like that I've met and I've made some really, really good friends
Mm-hmm.
in just having this content. I do it because I love to do it. I love the
Yeah.
community, and
Yeah.
it does give me people who
Mm-hmm.
to share with that share the same interest.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. Is being around those like-minded individuals who share the same interest and you connect with. Um, and it makes you really really understand that, wow, like I'm definitely not alone. I'm not in a league of my own. I'm really in a family, like a really unique family of individuals who love the same things. You know what I mean? They share some of the same experiences. Like they, have the same anticipation for figures that I do, and they just genuinely love the culture. So you know what I mean. I definitely enjoy. I enjoy it, and it is like I've been fortunate enough. See, the thing is, it's like I have like I always, for me, I've always surrounded myself around people who at least had an idea or enjoyed the culture, and and enjoyed this particular space. So I'm fortunate to have friends that want to actually dive into this, but they don't know when to start. Like, you know what I mean? A
Hmm.
few of them, I tell them like, look, just, collect what you like, or just get like a piece, one piece, and just take it from there. So it's like a tattoo. You start with one, you can't stop.
Hmm.
So, you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Always just tell them like, you know what, just take your time, and it'll evolve over time. But yeah, like, even if they don't, I mean, they still do appreciate my collection, and they like what or they collect certain things that are within their wheelhouse. Sometimes you have people that collect 1/12 scale statues, comics, but we all can, really exist in the same space, and share those ideas. So been
Hmm.
fortunate to have that. But when it comes to like just 1/6 scale collecting, again, majority of the people who do what I do are pretty much all over the place, everywhere. Whether it's in my city, other cities, overseas, different countries, different nationalities. It's so nice to have a space where we can do this, and come together and talk.
No, yeah, absolutely. And thank you for everybody who's in here right now on the Aries Tarrington Show live on a Wednesday evening. My special guest, Lael from the 1/6thScaleMan. It is my honor to have him on here. We're actually talking about content creation. We both hit
Yes.
2K subs on our channel, basically around at the same time. So again, welcome to everyone in here. Double X Magical 99 says Lael, I would like to see more women on the panel to break up the
Hey,
sausage party.
hey, Excess Magical 99. Look, you should tune in tomorrow night, because tomorrow night we always have Uncivilized Scoundrels. We have two women on the panel. I have CC3PO and we actually had an all women show last Thursday. It was an amazing show. Um, yeah, I listen. I'm right there with you. Like I said, I mean, if we get, and the thing is, it's like, for us, I know Aries feels the same way. We want women collectors. We want to
For
actually
sure.
talk to women collectors and get them on the show. It's just that they're it's some of them just aren't as vocal. You know what I mean? They don't.
Hmm.
There are some that are, but yeah, like I would welcome that. I welcome that all day. Like literally, any woman that wants to actually jump on my show, she is more than welcome, and we could just always talk about it. So yes, I agree. I agree though.
Well, yeah, and absolutely. And for me, Double X Magical 99, tune in to the market show
Mm-hmm.
this coming Saturday, because we're certainly going to have I'm going to have a female on the show, and actually a very a prominent YouTuber who you probably would not even know, that collects hot toys. So certainly stay tuned
Yeah.
for the market show live this Saturday, for sure, and that should be a lot of fun. But
Mm-hmm.
continuing with this, Lael, because you know, and I've been around the block a lot, and I think that why I'm loving the show, because I know you've been around the block a lot. So I
Yes.
think that we kind of bring into this community a little bit of seasoning. I guess you would say, because I I feel, what is your thoughts on when this joy, because you could tell when I
Mm-hmm.
watch your content,
Mm-hmm.
you're really enjoying yourself
Oh yes.
and you're real.
Yeah.
When do we stop the process of when it becomes a job? Oh, I can do this. I've had so many people reach out. Aries, if you just cover Marvel, you'll double the subscriber. Aries, would you ever consider doing this? Aries. And the thing is, I would. But the thing is, if I don't got the time,
Mm-hmm.
and if I don't got the room or the passion at the moment,
Yeah.
I feel like that it can overcome. I think people tune into me because I'm a little crazy. I'm a little off key. I'm just having fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do this stuff
Yeah.
all the time. Like I have 3 daughters and they're all
Yes.
adults and they run around the house and they're like singing these things called daddy tunes because I'll
Mm-hmm.
come up with these wacky little rhymes that I've been doing since they were a kid because I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of, boisterous in that way.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always walk around. And we go to a lot of martial arts tournaments, and
Yeah.
and the community will learn more about that. And everyone, the thing about me is that there he is with his coffee. He's always got a
Yeah.
coffee at hand.
Yeah.
Always, whether it's back in the locker room, it's always got a coffee. Always here, at these press things and whatnot. It's
Yeah.
just who I am. But let me ask you, from your perspective, I've been able to shrug it off thus far, and I will continue to do that.
Yeah.
I want to stay within my wheelhouse. If something strikes me, I'm going to go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always go for it, like you were saying, like your mom encouraged you to do that. I've had
Yeah.
people in my family encourage
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't want to bite off more than I can chew or
Yeah.
be what I'm not.
Yeah. You know what? Here's the thing. It's a gift and a curse. It's an unfortunate thing for me because I'm not just a Star Wars fan. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and that's basically I'm really really huge, and that's basically been my number one love ever since I actually stepped in the film in 1977. Seeing New Hope, or before it was called New Hope, it was just Star Wars on the screen in 1977. But I'm also a comic book fan. I love
Mm-hmm.
Marvel. I love DC. I'm just all around it. So being a collector, it's hard to stay within one wheelhouse because I am I am influenced by, all of these different IPs. So luckily enough, to have a show, I decided that with me, I would have, I have right now, let me see here, I would actually say like 4 different shows right now, to be quite honest. I have, Take Your Position on Sundays, where we just basically pose up figures. Whether it's whatever IP it is, we'll just pose up me, Iron Logan, and my boy, one of my best friends, Brendan Riley. On Mondays, I have, we have comic book talk with friends, where we just sit around and we talk comics. What's going on
Mm-hmm.
within the comic community? What's going on basically within, whether it's film, television shows, what's going on within comics itself, and we try to stick around that. Wednesdays is Say What, where we basically talk all things 1/6 scale collectibles, whether it's collectible statues, whatever. We have those conversations, and on Thursdays, we have Uncivilized Scoundrels. Me and El Professor himself, Mario, from Collecting Weekly, we developed a show called Uncivilized Scoundrels, where we talk everything Star Wars, what's actually happening within the movies, what shows, stuff like that, and books, gaming. We try to basically cover that perspective. So I love doing it that way because I know that I'm covering everything that I love. But you're right. I'm sticking within my wheelhouse of things that I know and that I love and that I'm passionate about. And I think that's what basically makes for really great and healthy discussions.
Mm-hmm.
I really, really love it. And
I think
yeah,
healthy is a key word there because
yeah,
I've watched your content, and you could see that the passion. I'm like, oh, Lael's doing the comics, but you could tell that you're so in and knowledgeable
yeah,
and
yeah.
enjoy that.
Hmm.
Um the show, what did you call it again, the Uncivilized Scoundrels that you
Yes,
have on Thursdays. To
yes,
me, that's kind of like what I'm doing here with the Aries Tarrington show. I feel
yeah.
like, and for me, it's kind of funny here putting this up on the screen. Flaw 5
Yeah,
kick.
you have to
Yeah.
wonder, will Aries start hosting Marvel content? And I say no.
Yeah.
But Aries, to be quite honest, man, like I think this is why people enjoy your space. Because the
Mm,
thing is, you're staying true to what it is, what's you. And that's why you can only stay true to that. You know what I mean? Some people may tell you, oh, you should do this, or you should do it. Only do what feels comfortable for you. And I think that's why you have and have been able to be as successful as you have been, because you're just doing what's right for you and what feels good for you. And
hmm
no one should ever. That's the thing, is that I don't believe in it. I don't believe in people saying, well, you should do this to be this way, you should do that. Well, if I wanted to do that, then definitely I would. And there's no, nothing against everybody else, but I just feel comfortable doing this, you know. And there's no wrong way. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? At all, because we enjoy it. We love what you do. So why not?
Well, and thank you so much, and I appreciate that
Yeah.
encouragement. And it's kind of like the line
Yeah.
I'm kind of going through, and with 74 in here very early, just getting started on the Aries Therapeutic show. Please go ahead and smash that like button.
Hmm.
It is your support is obviously much appreciated, and welcome everybody in here to the Aries Therapeutic show.
Hmm.
And let's continue with this discussion. I'm actually this super chat's going to lead into it. And I'm going to actually go to this screen so it won't block us too much there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So 6 scale 501st, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. And he says, love the uniqueness of all these different collectors channels. You guys are awesome. Look forward to both of your guys' content weekly. Well, thank you so much. Hoping to start providing content for the community in return. So I think this is good, Lael.
Yeah.
I want to get your take on this because I've had people and quite a few actually reach out to me for advice on starting a channel. There's
Yeah.
people that have reached out to me kind of like 6 scale 501st
Hmm.
that have asked me advice on different things and how does it work and that and
Hmm.
how
Hmm.
do I get people to subscribe
Yeah.
and right when I hear that an alarm goes off a little bit because and I think we may be on both the same page with this because you started your channel, but like you just started to start it, you put it up over there. You
Hmm.
weren't really constant when you were ready. You were ready to go, and I
Yeah.
was the
Yeah.
same way. I actually just put it up, and I wasn't actually expecting anything from it. Like I said, I was kind of not arguing, but I was kind of like, "Yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot." My wife was encouraging me to do it. I really was putting a lot of stock,
Yeah.
great stock in 6scalecantina.com, which is fabulous and
Yeah.
is a great tool. But I never expected this. And I think I want your comments on advice for people like 6 scale 501st that are looking to start their own channel because I do encourage that greatly.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
thing that I like to lend advice on is be real, be yourself, and don't
Hmm.
worry how many people are going to
Yep.
subscribe or like it. It'll
Yeah.
just happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. And it is that. Here's the thing: is just like if you don't come into this game for literally look, create a space where you can actually just voice your opinion and talk. When you create it, always say what you build it, they will come. Fill the dreams, baby. You know what I mean? Like that's
Mhm.
it. Like if you build it, they will come. You know what I mean? So create the space, leap of faith. Go into it because if you're passionate about it, then that passion is shine through. Whatever you put out in the universe will come back. You know what I mean? 100-fold. So
Mhm.
just basically just go in head first, create because there's no to be quite honest, people all everybody has their opinions and their perception on how things should be, but there's no right or wrong way. Like literally there's no right or wrong way. You go into it, do what you do, whatever content that you want to basically create, whatever you want to cover, whatever you want to talk about. I will say just basically when people say you just come up with your own niche, your own niche is just being you, being
That's
original,
right.
just
Yep.
being you. There, everybody's like, what, have your own flavor. Your own flavor is who you are as a person. Let your personality shine through. Your honesty shine through. That's what it's all about. Your honesty, your commitment to being honest and being, truthful to others and respectful to others, having your opinions but sticking by it, but at the same time just being you because that's what makes for good content. That's what draws people to you. You know what I mean? Is the simple fact that you are that way. So if you want to do it, go for it. I mean, because I'll definitely watch 6 scale 501st. I mean, with a name like 6 scale 501st, I'm all in. So basically, if
Me
like
too.
literally, if you want to do it, just go ahead and do it. You got
Good.
my vote. You just let me know basically when you've done it, and hopefully I'll be your first, subscriber. And I'll follow you. I follow everybody's content. I want no matter how small, how big the channel is. Like me and Aries, we're just like, listen, we're not,
Mhm.
and I think Aries, you feel the same way. There is no for me. I'm not here to compete, and I don't compete with anybody. I don't. If anything, I like to share ideas. I root for everybody's channel. I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to have the same successes, because if we are as successful as we are, then it means that the community is getting bigger. We help to grow this thing. Hell, I want the entire universe to collect. Hell, I want to actually get stars on my show who collect. People in Hollywood who collect. People who like to have these conversations like we do. Because I'm pretty sure they're watching. You know what I mean? So, man, look, all day, every day, just be who you are. Take that leap of faith. Do it. I'll always support you. Hell, I'll even share your information on my channel. You can always leap on the channel and have a conversation. Hopefully you'll have me on as well. You'll have Aries on as well, because that's what we're here for. That's what it's all about, is never feel. And the one thing I will tell you is the most important thing is always know that not everything is going to always work out as quickly as you think. It does take time. But if you don't focus on that, here's the thing, don't focus on the destination. More so think about the journey and what goes along with that journey, and the information, like the education you pick up along that journey, the lessons that you learn. So once you get to that end of it, you're like, wow, I can't believe I made it here, because you weren't thinking about it. You know what I mean? You weren't. So just don't think about that. And don't let anybody else tell you what you should and should not do. Don't let anybody else sway you. If you hear any drama behind the scenes, stay away from it. Just stay true to you, plain and simple. And just be honest with everybody, because there's drama out there. There's people who will talk. There's naysayers. There's people trying to compete. There's people trying to steal, or they talk about stealing ideas. There's no stealing, because to be quite honest, if you put something out there and somebody grabs it, because you've put it out there. When you put out an idea, it no longer belongs to you. It's to the universe.
That's
and
true.
Sometimes it's a form of flattery. So, just, again, take a leap of faith, be honest with yourself, but most importantly, have fun doing it. Plain and simple.
And you bring up a good point, and I want to echo that, because content creators or potential content creator people have asked me, hey, well, I don't want to do the same thing. I want to be different. But I'm like, well, but you're enjoying that. That's what you want to do. Yeah, but it's what I want to do. But I want to do it different. Don't be concerned with that. I don't know what your thoughts are with Lael. I think what you said, Lael, is right true. Be your own inner animal. I teach martial arts, and I've been teaching martial arts for decades.
Yeah.
And I always try and get out of my martial artists their inner animal, because every time that they key up, whatever, whether you're using, you're using Japanese or Korean martial arts lingo there, you have an expression of yourself. And I've never met a martial artist that key eyes the same way as the other. So if you want to put out a review, if you want to put out, if you want to talk about, a release, if you want to pose, if you just want to have a live show, like we're having here, don't overthink it. Let your inner animal come out. And like Lael said, it's going to just work for you. Don't be so concerned with that other stuff. Sure, Lael, you got to be concerned about production quality. I got a lot of advice, cameras, microphones, things. But I think that you're on to something there.
Yeah, it is. That's the thing is, it's like, the biggest thing about it is, like you said, behind the scenes, what we have to create, what we have to take and spend so much time just putting out, even for every show. I know, like, I hear this all the time. Well, it's hard because sometimes I just don't want to stream so much because there's a lot of content creators out there talking about the same thing. You hear it? Okay. So here's the thing. This is what I want to say. This is the big thing. Like, listen, like, hear this. There's ESPN. There's what I say, NBC, Sports Network. There's Fox Sports 1. There's so many different networks out there that cover sports, and they cover the same content. They just may do it differently, but they cover the same content. So it's already out there. You can't basically say, look, I just want to hear something different. If we're all listen, you're going to hear about these new releases. You're going to hear about the delays. It's just how the content is basically delivered, plain and
Yeah.
simple.
Well, and the other thing, Lael, and I want to get your thoughts on this because is it possible that some of the people or a lot of the people in the community just want to be able to have that community ongoing. You
Hmm.
know, it's kind of like, wow, I get to go on this live show, and then
Yeah.
I get to go to this content creator show,
Yes.
and this content creator show. It's kind of like, okay,
Yes.
I'm at Cheers, I'm at the bar.
Hmm.
Okay, I've been here. It's like you wanna keep going where everybody
Hmm.
knows your name,
Exactly.
and they're glad that you came, right?
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
So I think for me, sure. Just like you mentioned, whether it's CNN, CBS, Fox News, this one, that one, you're going to get some different some of the same stuff that's covered, but you're going to get different perspectives. You're going to
Yeah.
get different people with different inner animals in their soul and their spirit
Yep.
that are going to be bringing out their opinion. You're going to have different approaches. So I
Yeah.
don't really agree. I've heard a couple of things, I guess, about that. But I don't agree. I don't think that there's too much live con. Let me ask you that question,
No.
Leo. I feel like I'm actually happy because I've noticed a change
Yeah.
since, and really, we both been kind of really
Yeah.
hitting this scene a lot.
Yeah.
Last year and fitting in.
Yeah.
I've noticed a big difference in the
Hmm.
community. I feel like it was great before. I feel like it's even greater. I feel
Yeah.
like it's tighter. I see a lot of the same people
Yeah.
on a lot of the same shows, and I
Yeah.
feel like the community's growing.
It is. And that's the important part of it. The community is growing. It's getting bigger. It's getting larger. And the thing is, it's like we look this community as many people as that do subscribe and watch. The community is only but so big, but it's still getting bigger. There needs to be a place where we can all socialize and talk. So to have so many different channels and content creators out there delivering product, somebody, and you know what, to be quite honest, Aries, somebody might cover something that we may not cover. You know what I mean?
That's
We
right.
we have that somebody else might pick up. You know what I mean? So again, I don't think to be quite honest, I think there's never enough. I think that it's always good to basically. I love to hear people socialize and talk back and forth, and share their opinions on just collecting. Like that's the nature of everything. I mean, because the thing is, to be quite honest, there might be things out there that we don't know about collecting, and things that or figures that we may miss, or figures that we want, and we just don't know where to go to get them, or whether or not a certain figure is worth getting. The only way you're going to know is if you it's like having your ear to the streets. If people are
Hmm.
talking, you want to listen, you want to hear it, especially if it's surrounded about around something that you're interested in. So I don't believe in that. I mean, I think when I hear that, like, I kind of cringe, because I mean, I'm like, it's not the idea that everybody shares. Like, you know what I mean? One person saying that, oh, I just don't like to, I don't want to, I just think it's way too much. I think it's, this is way, people are streaming way too much. People are just talking about the same things and this, that, and the third. I mean, as look, I agree to disagree, because I like the simple fact that we have this space where we can do it. So why not continue? So I don't yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's I, I- I want to go ahead and put this up. I totally agree with you. I think the more the better. And I
Yeah.
certainly encourage anybody out there that wants to start a channel, that wants to go live. I remember even talking to Jay, brother Cousins, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I want to go live." I said, "You should go live." We've been
Yeah.
watching your content for a while, and I think he's been hitting it out of the park. And his,
Yeah.
like, best of the best show
Yeah.
is completely different and unique.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Putting this up back from Six Scale Mafia. Thank you, Anthony. The Six Scale Mafia in the house tonight. My advice, be you. Subscribers don't come overnight. I'm slowly approaching my 1K, but not with gimmicks. I'm me, period. You're tuning in for my personality and opinions. So just be you and have fun. Sure.
Hmm.
And I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of content creators have been doing that. Certainly, Six Scale Mafia. And going down to, I want to look at a couple of these comments here. And welcome to everybody who's in here, over 90 now, on the
Mm-hmm.
Aries Tarrington Show live
Yes,
on
yes.
Wednesday evening. I am the Dark Jedi Aries Tarrington. That's the 1/6 scale man, Lael,
Yes,
and
yes.
we're serving it all up. We're
Mm-hmm.
serving it all up. Let us know what table you're at. And this comment here, Mal Dutch, eat, sleep, consume, repeat. I guess he's
Yeah.
like it's like Brock Lesnar of Hot Toys and
Yeah.
6 scale content.
Yeah.
Um, and and here I want to put this up on the screen as well, because and here's another thing. Brandon Altman says most viewers have no idea to the amount of work that goes into being a content creator.
Mm-hmm.
I admire your humbleness and passion that comes through for each episode. So for me on that, Brandon, it is passion, because if I didn't have passion for 6 scale Cantina and what I do here, I would not be doing it. No,
Mm-hmm.
number two, I actually believe in what I'm doing with my content. I feel like that it's a benefit to the community. I feel like and I feel like that the thoughts and the things that it provides enhances. And I think Lael, I think
Yeah.
every content creator feels the same way.
Yeah. We do. Here's the thing is it's like, we hear it, I'm just looking at a few of the chats where there's some people are like, what, we just started, like I'm brand new to collecting. I just started, and watching the content, really provides the information that they need along their journey. um and I'm like, exactly. Look, what did we go through? Just mainly, what have we been through the last 2 years? Almost. We've gone through a pandemic that has crippled um, our way of life. You know what I mean? Our social life. Life, being out there, going to the movies, eating dinner with families. Just being out and about like we usually do. We got hit with a strand, a new strand that has continued to test the population.
Hmm.
So a lot of people are subjective to content that, if they can't see it on TV, they're streaming now, like a lot of live streams, or they're streaming content on whether it's YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, stuff like that. So right now, the content that we're creating is part of that, that IP. It's part of that genre, which is streaming. People watch, they enjoy, they find things that they can actually enjoy in the comfort of their own home just to feel entertained, and it takes their mind off of what's going on outside. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
what it's about. I think this is the safest way for you to keep your sanity, to be quite honest, is to listen to other people actually share your views. I mean, and this thing is when we say content creators, it's not just us about collecting. There's content creators for so many different spectrums. We just happen to exist in a place that's cool.
Yeah, and it's funny. I was actually talking to my family about this, and my wife. It was the first year of COVID when everything shut down. You bring up a really, really good point. It was rough. It
Yeah,
was rough for a lot of
yeah,
people. I had a lot of friends and family members that really were suffering from depression, and it's
yeah.
kind of you know w- when this all started in a way, probably
Hmm.
a few months um before, or maybe no, actually not before, in the middle of it. In the middle of it is when this started. Uh, how, for me,
Hmm.
how much do you think, because I think it's a lot, that at least this community, the content that's really evolved over the past year, has really helped this community and the people within it, like you said, be able to look forward to something, have alternatives to be able to do, not just with collecting. Obviously, there's been there was, for people are collecting more,
Hmm.
they're at home, but I think being able to watch this content, not only pre-recorded but live shows,
Yeah.
has been an added benefit.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has. It is. It has, because if we, the way I see it is, like I said, I know in my own my own home, it's like, we got hit hard, man. Like literally, we got hit hard. I've been fortunate enough to stay afloat. I have a business that I work from home, and it's been great. You know, and the thing is, it's like for us, I think to be quite honest, Aries, I think that the pandemic has actually helped to bolster and really advance the community. We're seeing evolution within the community because we're creating content, we're finding different things to, kind of help increase the amount of people who are out there who don't really have a voice,
Mm-hmm.
Who are afraid to really tell and talk to people. I had like just a reality check of my own, is that it was a time when I would hide who I really was from people because of the simple fact that I didn't want to hear the scrutiny. I didn't want to hear people saying, "Oh, you're crazy for doing this and the third." I sat back one day and I was like, you know what? I'm not who I am, and I'm not being who I am if I'm hiding. If I'm not telling people how much I enjoy collecting, how much I enjoy
Mm-hmm.
films, comic books, and who I am. Yes, I'm 48 years old, and I basically enjoy this stuff because
Mm-hmm.
I've grown up, I've grown with it, and I'm unapologetic. And to be quite honest, Aries, it was the best thing that I have ever done. I have gotten so much support by my friends, family members, everybody out there who may not have known this is what I'm into. They tune in. They like the content. They like that I'm delivering and helping them understand some of the movies that they go out there and watch. You know what I mean? And may not have an understanding for, especially if it's in an MCU or DCEU film, or if it's Star Wars related. If they want to ask questions about that, they come to me and they ask questions, or they tune in into the shows to really understand that. And all that happened because I refused. I literally refused to hide who I was from anyone, and that's just the way it is.
And that's deep, and I appreciate that because I've struggled with that, and I struggle less now. I'm not going to lie to anybody and say that I have arrived, and perfect with it, and that's how I teach my students and even my own kids. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, it's a continual growing process, and
Yeah,
and one of the things I always say, the more I learn martial arts, the more I realize how much I don't know about it
yeah,
historically and practically. But
yeah,
I would be like, oh, I'm not going to wear this team jacket because I don't want to be laughed at, or I'm in the wrong city, or I'm a little bit
mm-hmm.
ashamed of putting this Star Wars thing on. Is someone going to
Yeah,
think that I'm this or that, or and you know what? I just don't care
yeah. Don't.
anymore.
Mm-mm.
And I try to impart that to other people as well, because
Yeah.
I think it's real important. And then going back to, because putting up on here, Commander Crook says, I've been considering starting a channel. I have enough experience to put forth the knowledge of this hobby and other action figure lines. Look, Commander Crook are always
Do
in
it.
the chats. Do it. And
Do
we'd be
it.
very happy to support you. But,
Yes.
I would encourage you, don't hide who you are,
Mm-hmm.
because be who you are, like we were saying, because that, I think, is what's going to be,
Yeah.
is what makes it work. And really, for
Mm-hmm.
you, it's going to make it work. If you want to interact with people, if you want to
Yeah.
hang out
Uh-huh.
at the bar, if you want to hang out, at the event, and you want to meet new friends and hang out with friends, be real, because that's how these relationships start. But lately, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I mean, for me, just going back to hiding, I think it's important, um, not to do that.
Not at all. Don't. Never hide who you are. And that's the thing. It's the biggest mistake as a person that you can do and make, is to hide who you are and what you enjoy. That's it. If you enjoy whatever your IP or whatever, if it's that one thing that you enjoy, stick to it, and don't hide it from people, because that's the thing, is like you'll never know how much you may affect someone who knows little about this, and may have, you may basically inspire other people, to open up and really embrace, who they really are, and what they enjoy. I mean, this is part of what we do. Like who you see on camera and what you see is the same person you're going to see off camera. I am no
Hmm.
different. I
Hmm.
am no different. What I enjoy is what I enjoy. I don't get on here to tell you, okay, I purchased this, I bought this, and I don't really enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like everything that I buy, everything that I purchase is something I purchase because I relate to it. I'm connected to it. And that's just the way it is. You know, that's just all out honesty, all out open, and receiving. I put out that positive energy and I expect to receive the same thing back. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And I'll fight for anybody. You know what I mean? I got your back. When I look at the community, I say, look, I'll shelter the blame. I'll be a martyr for the cause if I have to, especially if it makes one person, if we can actually reach and teach and touch one individual, then that's what it's all about. But the
For
biggest thing
sure.
is it's like, yo, let's have some fun. And that's what it's when we do this, it's because we have fun doing it. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
And with 111 in here, welcome to the Aries Tarrington Show live.
Yes.
And right beside me here is Lael, 1/6 scale man. We're having a good old time. Please go ahead and hit that like button. And like to say hello to all of you in here. And right now, we've from Manaha Collectibles, Dante in the house. And
Hmm.
hello back to you, my friend. Certainly looking forward to being on your show coming up. I think later this Friday, and putting this
Yeah.
in from JB. Excellent point, Aries. The two-way interaction of live streams has
Yeah.
been a significant help. Look, yeah, it really has been. And put this up from Man of Hot Collectibles in there as well. And I
Yeah.
believe that
My
so
man.
many in the house and so much fun. The
Hmm.
collectors in here with some popcorn.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you need some coffee? I got it right here. Or
Yeah.
maybe you want the spotchka,
Yeah.
serve it all up. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, Lael, and it's something that people were asking me about. Like, are you kidding? I always have a drink in my hand. And it's kind of funny. I went to I've been going to a few doctor checkups recently,
Yeah.
and they come back with the blood work, and they said, "Man, your kidney function is actually off the charts. It's
Yeah.
wonderful."
Yeah.
But I'm drinking all day. But I'm
Yeah.
drinking good stuff. I'm not
Yeah.
drinking alcohol all
Hmm.
day.
Hmm.
But I'm always it's just been a part of me to and sometimes I drink too much coffee, so I have the decaf that I could switch to. I don't know, but I think it's cool. It's nice to be able to take something that is really part of you
Hmm.
and then make it part of, I guess, what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. It is that, and that's the biggest thing, Aris. You said it so perfectly. Like a part of you, like things that are a part of you, like these things that you know, I didn't get into really get full on into 1/6 scale collecting until I say 2014. Was when I got really heavily into it, and I haven't looked back since. I've been collecting now, just in the wheelhouse of collecting, whether it's comics, figures, whatever. I've been doing this for, I would say, a total of about 27 years.
Wow.
27. I mean, full wholeheartedly. But since I was young, I've been collecting, even further back, but really getting serious about it. It's been 27 years. But when it comes to like 1/6 scale collecting, it's been since 2014. And it's just, I've been so, it's an exciting thing. It's exciting times. I mean, and these things are therapeutic, things that they see behind us, man, like these figures and what we connect and we collect. It's like, yo, like we just have so much fun. You know what I mean? I see collecting weekly in there. We had it. Listen, I would say, listen, on it was like Saturday night. One of the best times I've ever had in so long. We actually, because
Ooh,
they have over there, they have this thing called Pose Wars. And what happens is they get a group of individuals. You have a figure, you pose up your figure, but there's catches. They call them banes, where people can actually, they can pay for bangs that kind of mess you up a bit along the way. Like if they say, okay, will this person start over from scratch? That means take all the accessories off your figure, start from scratch, or take your hands off the figure for 2 minutes, swap out the figure for another figure. It was so much fun. And the thing is, it was a competition, but you wouldn't have thought it was a competition because you were just having so much fun socializing with so many people doing the same thing. And I loved about it. It's a great idea. It's a great show. And I just love seeing it, man. Pose Wars was incredible. Those guys over there collecting weekly, they're incredible. But yeah, man, it's like we come up with these ideas, like, you know what I mean? When you sit back, Aries, when you look at how many people, like for instance, people are quoting your slogan, they're basically talking about, you know what I mean? Is it possible? When you hear that, it's like, yo, what have I started? Or when you say Spaska, it's like, wow, what have I started? Like literally.
Yeah, it's infectious, I get, right?
Yeah.
And and Cerebral IF Figures says, Lael and Aries, thank you for the insights and making my day. Co-op with COVID, and you guys definitely make it better. And look,
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
I know I was, and because it was definitely, and last year personally was just not a good year. I'm so glad we're in here
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
2022, and things so far are looking good, and I am in complete belief that it's going to go that way. But it was also rough in obviously in 2020 with COVID.
Yeah.
So I think it's important. And just going back to the last comment
I
here.
don't got my Spaska, but I got my you might as well say it's a bit of Spaska. This is basically my Starbucks, but we got some Spaska in here somewhere,
There you go. That looks good. But and this echoes in here the beauty about this hobby from Manaha Collectibles, that you guys can see us how we are, same way on and off camera.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes with the comment you're saying before about this notion that there's too much live content, or I don't want to go live because it's the same thing. I think for a lot of people, it may have helped to get them through some of these times with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, Lael, I don't know, I don't want to get into it, but per se, but I just don't think the world, put it to you this way, is going to go exactly the way it was exactly before COVID. So there's going to be changes with every situation, a pandemic, things change.
Yeah.
But I think it's like you said, it's helped the community.
Yeah.
This community, I think, has gone up in the better because of it.
Yeah. It has. This community has gone up. To be quite honest, it's crazy because when you look at it, we've gotten so much more content because of it. Normally, we know that Sideshow has had their Sideshow Con, where you can actually look at some of the upcoming figure releases, statues, stuff like that. A lot of us have created content where we've had live streams where we follow along and watch certain things. Like we'll follow their live stream and we'll jump on, like after their shows, we'll jump on and have these conversations, jump on other people's shows and have conversations. It's been good for the community because, like I said, it's something that they can latch on to, and it takes them away from. I literally, like, Aries, I had to turn, like, within this past year, I turned the news off completely. Like, literally,
me too.
I turned the news off. I was like, I don't want to watch anything. My girl, unless she tells me like there's something that I really definitely need to watch, I'm like, no, I'm done. I can't, because I need a space where I can actually have some excitement and feel good, and feel like, what I mean? It's an escape. I need, and this is my escape and always has been. And I think that us as content creators, we do so, whether it's Manaha Collectibles, collecting weekly, Jetta Patrol, Justin's collections, Brother Cousins, 6 Scale Mafia,
Will Foxification,
my guy, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Everyone.
Like exactly, Optical 20, or even if it's it's just all we have, what I mean, this place that we could, we create these spaces, we have these spaces, and to be able to come together, and we the thing is, it's like we kind of complement each other, to be quite honest, because if one's successful, then it makes us all successful. That it actually breeds it opens that door for all of us to kind of come in and and just have that space. So I'm happy about that, man. I mean, Man and Hot though, I don't know. Jumping on his show is just like it's exotic because he has that forbidden language. You know what I mean? So Man and Hot, he
A
has a
dear Howard.
yeah, Dear Howard, but Man and Hot has a silver tongue, so you got to be careful jumping on that show. Like I tell my girl, don't watch his show because he has a silver tongue. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Well, Collecting Weekly puts in here, I think the comment that live streams aren't content is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. We never just press go live. That is true. Really, even
Hmm.
even when we're going on the fly, we have some
Yeah,
general idea. The
yeah,
shows take hours of preparation and research and have
yeah,
pressure. Uh,
yeah.
and then um, and then Collecting Weekly goes in and puts in that every mistake you make is in real time. It's true. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this, as
Yeah,
fun as it is, because
yeah,
you want to be able to express your thoughts accurately. You want to be able to provide accurate and correct
hmm,
information, and you want to be able to make sure that you're able to share what it is that you want to share, and also make sure that you got everything ready to put in the other comments,
yeah,
so you can put up the other opinions that people could have, and kind of go
yeah,
from other panel members opinions, and kind of dive into
hmm,
um that as well. But
yeah,
yeah, and I think that it's certainly fine. I mean, I certainly understand the point. That it's kind of like, I understand the point, and I do think the point has its validity. It's kind of like, well, I don't want to watch. I just watched the Yankees play the Red Sox, and then now I got to watch the Angels play the Dodgers, and now I got to watch the Cleveland Indians play the
yeah.
Pittsburgh Pirates. It's the same thing, but it's kind of different.
It
It's
is.
not the same. And if you like baseball, or you like the NFL, or you like MMA, or you like racing, I just keep seeing, well, this event has the same cars running around the circle, or two girls or two guys in a ring. Look, if you like it, if you're passionate about it,
Hmm.
I know for me, I watch so much MMA, it's crazy. I've even had family members are like, can we turn the MMA off? I want to see this college game or this or that. And of course,
Yeah,
I comply, but I think it's the same thing here.
yeah,
Collecting Weekly just put up over here. People that just love this stuff like we do.
yeah,
We can't get enough of it, baby.
yeah. We can't get enough of it, man. Like I mean, we listen. I mean, again, if there, put it this way, if none of us created channels, if none of us actually had, if none of these content creators existed, how many collectors do you think would be out there? How big do you think the community would be? Like
Mm,
literally. These companies that create these the IPs, or they create these figures, or statues, whether it's Hot Toys, whether it's Sideshow, whether it's So Toys, whether it's Toys Era, like all of these companies out there, whether it's licensed, unlicensed, what have you, they create these figures and they put them out there so we can talk about it. Us actually creating content, we're actually promoting and selling their product for them in a sense. They put
yeah,
it out
that's a good
there,
point.
we sell it. So people watch us and we help to promote their product, whether we like the product or not, by word of mouth or mention, we're promoting that.
I've thought about that. It's an interesting perspective. I've thought about it as I kept going here last year. So it kept getting in my mind. We kind of say, oh, Howard's going to watch this and stuff like this, because I was thinking in the back of my mind, it's like, boy, they must really love this. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
with anything else, of course, they get heat. Tony stank. They get heat. This didn't come out right. But when
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
when you put it all in a whole,
Yes.
they have to be loving this Lael. And is it
Yes.
possible
Yes.
that they actually do
Yeah.
watch these videos? Do you think that
Yeah.
they do?
Yes, they do. I know they do. They may not be vocal about it, but I know they do. I know they watch it. I know they basically, because, put it this way, I know for a fact that they watch it, because if they didn't watch it, we wouldn't have got a more updated head sculpt versus that Tony Stank.
There you
We wouldn't have
go.
got a change. If they didn't watch it, if they didn't follow these groups and the comments, then yes, there would have been zero change. They'd have thought that everything was A-OK. So heck yeah, they watch it. It's just that they're not as vocal. I know they do. So
Well, welcome to everybody in here. It is the Aries Tarrington show. on Wednesday evening with my special guest, Lael from 1/6 Scale Man. Really,
Yes.
really excited. This has been a great
Yes.
conversation, and we're going to get into some other stuff as well. And remember to tune in later because you're going to see Lael and I
Hmm.
on his show at 9:15 p.m. Eastern
Yes,
on
please.
Say What, and I am really looking forward to being on that show later tonight. So with 113 in here, make sure you all tune in later tonight at 9:15 on 1/6 Scale Man's live show.
Hey, can we
Hmm.
can we say something real quick?
Go
Everybody
ahead.
out there, everybody out in the chat, I want you to do something for me because I'm gonna put this man on the spot. I'm gonna put this man on the spot real quick. So everybody out there in the chat, I want you to say hashtag Manahot jump on. So hashtag Manahot say what? That means I want him on. Manahot Collectibles has to jump on say what tonight at 9:15. Everybody put him on the spot. Hashtag Manahot say what? That's what it's Manahot say what? He has to jump on tonight. And even if he doesn't, it's still gonna be fun that you actually put that in the chat right.
Man, hot. There you go. You're getting
There you
called
go.
out, brother.
Manahot, say
Get it.
what? That's what I like. Manahot, say what? Yeah. Raleigh Reviews started it first. Manahot, say what?
Man, hot. Say what? You know, you have to wonder: is it possible that Dante will show up on Say What? We're going to stay tuned for that. But listen, Knight of Ren 789 Lael, he needs some Tauntaun milk at
Yes.
table 501 coming right up. And
Yes,
then
yes.
Blackbird Tech was in Off-World,
He said, no, he's
Chawa, and
speaking
Tauntaun
English.
Ribeye on table 1138.
Right.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
1138. Come on. Well, listen, you're very far away then from Grogu, who's
Yeah, yeah.
obviously at table 5 with Popsing. Come on, you didn't think I would go through a show where I couldn't put that on, right? Continuing to go in. Welcome everybody who's in here. Don't forget, what is that hashtag again? Go ahead there. Lael, say it
Manahot,
again.
say what?
Manahot, say what? Come on.
He said, I don't know
Hashtag.
speaking English. Yeah, here we go. Manahot, say what? You're going to speak English tonight, buddy. It's going to be fun, man. Jump in. We're going to be talking about, it's going to be a good discussion. We're going to talk about what figures. And the thing is, it's no real, the topic is, what do we think is going to make the cut or make the deadline? Considering that Chinese New Year is right around the corner, we're going to talk about that.
And I usually don't chat when I'm live, but I just go ahead and put it in here on the StreamYard. I did my hashtag. It should come through. And
Just saw it. Just saw
all
it.
right. So listen, make sure that you all too, and let me Bob's figure, Fabio in the house, exotic. And look at everybody putting it in here. 808 Michigan Jedi. 808 Michigan Jedi. Where's the mops at the shop vac to pick up all this coffee? I think it's catching on. It
is catching on. I like it. I love that. Pressure. Put that peer pressure on it.
So I'm going to put this up. Let's go to the next topic. This has been great. Well, first of all, did you watch it today?
Oh yes, I did.
Okay, so let me put this up. Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 4 thoughts. And before anybody in there is freaking out, we're going to keep Chapter 4 anyway.
Spoiler free.
We'll keep it spoiler free, so don't worry about it. But I want to get Lael's thoughts, and I want to share my thoughts. So,
yeah.
Do you want me to go first, Lael, or do you want to go?
Oh no, you go first. You can go first.
Yeah, I think people are really going to like this episode.
I did.
It's going to put it to you this way. It's going to fill in some blanks, and it's going to deepen some relationships and strengthen them. I feel, in a very, very big way. It actually got me more interested in certain characters. I'm going to make it broad than I was previously, and I think that something that I thought was going to happen personally when I was watching it last week happened this week.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. Unlike some, now I didn't watch Uncivilized Scoundrels.
Yeah.
Last week. Yeah, so I don't know. I really don't know your thoughts, but I was kind of, I don't want to say ridiculed, but almost by a lot of people. Like, how could you like chapter 3?
Hmm.
And I really liked it because I like seeing. And I could give spoilers for chapter 3 because a week later, sorry, but we're not going to talk about this one. But I love seeing Jabba the Hutt's cousins. I love
Hmm.
seeing
Hmm.
the rancor monster in that. I love
Yeah.
seeing Chrysanthemum. I love
Yeah.
seeing all that stuff, and I feel like to me that was just I felt very again just bubbly with it, and
Yeah.
but I really did like this episode. But go
Yeah.
ahead, Leo.
You know what? So here's the thing. We covered last week's episode, and um, what stood out about last week's episode was, to me, was Chrysanthemum's his introduction,
Hmm.
um, but also, seeing him in action, seeing his presence. Also, again, for those who've seen it last week, the Rancor, and you know, seeing Danny Terrio, actually seeing, having, some of the nostalgia of what we know about Star Wars return, in this episode was something that, was really fantastic. The only thing that didn't feel like it fit, the only thing that didn't, I thought that could have been left out was just the whole uh biker scene, the biker gang scene. You know what I mean? Everybody's like, it looks like they were on Vespas. But I mean that it kind of, because it looks, the thing is, it looked like that was just something that was kind of shoehorned in, as a filler for the actual episode. It was so much space for everything else,
Hmm.
that they didn't really need that. And I think that a lot of what was really upsetting to a lot of people was that they felt that, it was too much going on with we're seeing, Boba Fett not in his prime. We're not seeing him the way we want to see him. He's
Hmm.
constantly getting manhandled and stuff like that. So it was one of those things where it was just really upsetting. This episode, it told the story that I wanted to see. You know what I mean? His, which we're not going to really jump into because I know a lot of people want to see it, but it told the story. It heightened, our understanding of his relationship with, Finnick. You know what
Hmm.
I mean?
Hmm.
And basically what his agenda is. Like, I know a lot of people are like before, well, we don't know what he wants to do. Like, we don't know what is his motive. Like, what now you discover it. Now you basically see what his agenda is and what the end game is. And I think it was, again, when I look at what we've seen so far, I think episode 2 and this episode were the ones that I love the most. And again, it can only go up from here. We got 3 episodes left, thank God, and I think we're going to see a lot. And I think we got a sneak peek, or if you heard it right, at the end of this episode of what's to come. And so I'm so excited. I'm excited. So I really did love today's episode. The beginning was a bit rocky, especially when they went, which we'll jump into. But the beginning was a bit rocky, but it was only just for a few seconds. But again, we got to understand, his relationship with Finnick, and why that relationship was developed and why the loyalty between them was developed. Um, it was incredible. It was incredible. So yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head with all those points, and I'm very. It's very interesting to see so many comments in here. I've been flashing it up as we were
Mm-hmm.
talking, but people really liked this episode. For many, it was either the second best, or for a lot, even more,
Yeah,
the best episode.
yeah,
And
yeah.
really, and what TK592 said, if you didn't like today's episode, then there's nothing this show can do to draw you in. That's not necessarily an invalid a point. Obviously, it's an opinion, but I do agree this was a very good episode. And one of the things that they did that you guys will see is they didn't just like one of the things I feel like Favreau and Filoni are doing very, very well
Mm-hmm.
is, for the most part, they're not just shoving in these backstories like, okay, this is the reason. I mean, I feel like they're really going back and taking some real conscientious
Yeah.
effort
Yeah.
to really tie things in, and that's
Yeah.
refreshing to see. And look, not to bring up the sequels, but I will. But I actually I enjoyed the Rise of Skywalker a lot, but
Yeah.
I feel like there just wasn't enough time to explain why is the Emperor back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I feel like with this show, you're going to understand Boba, you're going to understand Fennec, right?
Yes, yes. That's the thing is you're going to understand it. And I think people will understand why I'm getting three of those figures because I love Finnick. I love Finnick. Like I just really love the character. I really love this character. Since I saw her on screen, I fell in love with this character. Just the richness. We got a chance to see her in the Bad Batch. I love that. And I cannot wait. Listen, it's all about what we know when it comes to these stories. It's called Book of Boba. So for everybody who's pushing back on the simple fact that there's way too many flashbacks, the Book of Boba for a certain reason because we need to know what happened to him from the time that he crawled out of that Sarlacc pit and what's happening now. I just think that there needs to be a tad bit more execution as to tying the things together
Hmm.
more cohesively, making it one cohesive transaction between the both of them. And I think that's happening, and it is going to develop. We're going to continue to basically see it with the next three episodes. People just be a bit patient, and I think the expectation is, okay, we got, the Mandalorian. You have to understand it is two totally different narratives. Din Djarin had an agenda. He basically had his destiny was with Grogu. That's something that he had to fulfill. You know what I mean? Getting Grogu to the Jedi, but he's also discovering that number one, now, he's, when we look at it now, it's a much, we're looking at a much bigger picture. He's delivered the asset. He's gotten the child where it needs to
Hmm.
be, but his destiny now is to go back and help reclaim Mandalore. That's basically his destiny. And I think that's where we're headed. And I cannot wait to see it. But the thing is, you can't compare that to Boba because Boba now it's a totally different thing. Now he's going back to fulfill his destiny, which is, look, he doesn't want to be a bounty hunter anymore. He's
Hmm.
done with that. And I think and if you watch this episode, you'll understand. His conversation with Finnick was so powerful and it speaks
Yes.
to even modern times. That's what made this episode so important. And I think people will love it, man. I definitely loved it. I love it. And give us more Star Wars, man. Let's go.
Well, listen, with 118 in here, please don't forget to hit the like button. You are watching the
Yes.
Aries Tarrington Show live with my special guest, Lael from OneSixthScaleMan. We're having a great old time. Super chat here from Riley's Reviews. Thank you for the $2 bomb. That's sneak peek music. All I'll say is chills. Look, that's all we can say. But listen, when you watch, if you haven't watched yet, episode 4 of the Book of Boba Fett, you're going to be very, very happy, I feel.
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's really starting to come together.
It
So
is.
thank you so much for that, Riley's reviews. And I want that's going to bring me into this. When we talk about, we know from the music that Riley was just talking about Riley's reviews and what you said as well. We know Lael what's probably going to be coming. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Probably the next episode or in the episodes to come.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to bring me um to the next topic I want to get into.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to throw these all up.
Yeah.
Book of Boba Fett rumors, Han and Chewie, Jango, and I'm putting Mace in there. But you have to wonder.
Mm-hmm.
They've been Tamora Morrison and Ming Na Wen has both claimed that the finale there's going to be a big payoff in the seventh chapter,
Mm-hmm.
and I I've been I don't feel that Disney would have them saying that if, we're going to see, um, uh, a character we don't really care about. And I
Yeah.
know what they're coming off of with Luke Skywalker and R2, and even the Ahsoka and Boba reveal.
Yeah.
And I want to start with Han and Chewbacca, and I want to bring something very, very interesting up. Um, that I realized when I watched last. No, was it last week's show? I think it was last week's show.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, these factions, and I think it was the Pike gang,
Yeah. The Pikes.
and and they're talking about the spice mines of Kessel,
Yeah.
and you have to remember that gang
Hmm.
was in Solo, a Star Wars story.
Hmm.
And one of the things that happened in The Force Awakens, which is another faction, well, he brought up a few, like Hanja Club, that
Yeah.
Han Solo and Chewbacca brought up.
Yep.
I'm starting to put together, and of course, these rumors that Harrison Ford has signed to do the voice. Can you see a cameo? Because obviously, and for maybe people don't know, but Wookiees, I think, were held captive,
Hmm. Hmm.
slaves on the spice mines of Kessel. So there could be a real, not just throw them in here like we were talking about. Here's the Emperor, Rise of Skywalker. Do you sense that Filoni and Favreau can put in a cameo where it actually made sense for Luke to come back? Would it make sense, for Han and Chewbacca to show up in here?
Hmm.
Is it going to happen, and how would they do it, in your opinion?
Okay. So, all
Like, and
right.
I think for me, the Contra Club, because I understand of Force Awakens was kind of like I owe this faction money, and then he owed this one money,
Hmm.
and he owed this one, and he keeps making deals with these bounty hunters like Jabba the Hutt, and they keep wanting him. Now, the thing is, and I think you brought it up before,
Hmm.
seems too early, only 5 years later. But maybe you know how it is with people and couples.
Yeah.
Maybe he was still with Leia.
Hmm.
He had Ben.
Hmm.
Maybe he started some side escapades with Chewbacca, and it kind of built. It wasn't like he woke up maybe one morning and here it is. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe he started small and started getting in some trouble with some of
Maybe,
these.
maybe there's a possibility that Jabba's debt was the only one that he owed. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Maybe basically because it could be one of those things where because he's starting this life with, his child, with his son, him and Leia, are on good terms. They're basically moving forward with their lives after the Empire. Maybe he wants all things cleared, all debts cleared, everything clean, his slate clean, his ledger wiped completely. Maybe, oh, thank you very much, 68 Rowdy. Maybe he basically is going back to Tatooine to settle all debts. And this is what he runs into. You never know. You know what I mean? Maybe when in which basically it would be interesting if he did make an appearance, his interaction with Boba, how it would be. How would that actually be? Like, how would that, what if we got Han coming back to actually help? Or what if by some unfortunate, some chance, what if he ended up without his knowing helping Boba? I mean, helping Boba Fett. Like, what
You know,
if?
and you bring up an interesting point because I think it's possible because I have, and it just hit me now. Is it possible that maybe we forgot the connection
Mm-hmm.
of in Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
Who was the bounty hunter hunting Han Solo? And
Mm-hmm.
there was a bunch of them, but
Mm-hmm.
who's the actual one that got him? Was Boba Fett.
Exactly.
And who was the bounty hunter that brought Han Solo right to where he is leading now?
Mm-hmm.
Boba Fett.
Boba
So I
Fett.
really feel that, if Favreau and Filoni work their magic here to bring him, because the point is there's history there.
There's a lot of rich history there.
And and I can actually, and you bring up another good point. Are you saying that without knowledge helping Boba Fett, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
he actually decides And it's like, you know,
Maybe he decides, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, maybe this is the closure, because the thing is, there wasn't really real closure. You know what I mean? Between the two of them. You know what I mean? Maybe, and I'm not even saying closure for Han, but closure for Boba. Just to say that that part of my life is completely behind me. Now, what I want people out there in the chat to understand is that we're not saying that this is going to happen.
no.
And I'm with a few of you that really, I'm pretty much with the minority who says that I don't want to basically see it, because I think that this show needs to stand on its own 2 feet. If you're going to have appearances by individuals that we haven't seen. I would much more want to see Forlom, want to see IG 88, even though we know that he was possibly destroyed. I would much rather basically want to see Dengar, like all the
Bosk, right?
and Bosk, exactly. All the bounty hunters.
I
that
feel like they're teasing that with Bosk.
Yeah, and I'm hoping, like, seriously, I want to basically see that. I want to see them, come back to help. Like I always said that, look, I want to basically see a Magnificent Seven. That's what I want to see. A Magnificent Seven type of environment where you bring them in, you know what I mean? And they actually just help clear out the town, whatever. And like she said, how many credits did he said? I have enough. I have a lot of them.
So does that mean? So listen, I'm going to spill my coffee here because I think I know where you're going with this. Does that mean? Because we're all assuming,
yep,
because of the music, that it's just one. But is it possible when you talk about Dengar, when you talk about IG88, and you talk about Bosk, and who knows, Cad Bane, and you talk about some of these others.
Yes.
Could we get, like you said in there, the Magnificent Seven or I mean, now listen, if that's the payoff, how epic, how satisfied would you be, Lael?
Do you want, Aries? You don't understand how hype. You don't understand how hype I would be. I would be so excited, bro. I want this so bad. I want it so bad. I want it to happen so bad, and it needs to happen. I think it's important that this happens, because the thing is it's like, look, if we look at the Mandalorian, we got IG-11, who showed us pretty much what IG-88 is all about. You know what I mean? Like, we got characters in that show that we seen that didn't really get the love that they should have actually gotten from the film. We seen it. I want them to expand on that. Literally. Like, we got a chance in this show to basically see a side of the Tusken Raiders that we've never seen. We have more compassion for them. They're not just, there's different factions. So we got an understanding, and we see them in a totally different life, but we were rooting for them. I want to see the same thing with these bounty hunters. Like, I really do. I want to see that payoff with them. So I'm all in. I've been wanting that since the show started. And let's go. Somebody said we need HK-47 from the game. Bring him in. Bring him in, because he's an assassin droid. I would love that. Bring him in. Come on, man. Bring him in. I would love to see that. Bring some Knights of the Old Republic in. Look, anything Star Wars, let's bring it in. Let's go. Let's go. I'm open to that all day, every day.
Well, on 68 Rowdy goes 100% epic, man. And I gotta ask you this before I get into Jango. That female Tusken Raider that was teaching, basically was actually teaching Boba Fett the bow.
Yeah.
With the stick art.
Yeah.
She was not part of the Tusken Raiders that unfortunately perished.
No.
And I could talk about episode 3. We're not talking about chapter 4 from the day, but we're talking about that one.
Yeah.
What do you think that particular character is? That character, I almost feel that there is something really epic brewing on who she could be or what she can be to Boba Fett. Is she going to be someone who he needs to rescue from the Pike clan, for instance? Is it going to be someone that's going to go against him? Is there a relationship there? I know everyone's always thinking Fennec and Boba, but I'm not quite sure. I almost feel like, I don't know. I feel like that they're such good friends. It's possible But
Yeah.
there's something about this Tusken Raider. What say you?
Here's the thing: is it's like, I mean, again, people have to understand that the Tusken Raiders are a race. They're a race of individuals under the mask. They only have that mask because, like I said, the moisture and basically what we had. There were vast oceans that flowed through Tatooine, but that changed. That all changed. It was left as a barren wasteland now. That's why you see, scum and tyranny there right now. Like, it's just basically the way it is. They are a race, but they're covered. They have their faces completely covered, and they are a species. I think, honestly, like I said, because we didn't actually see it at all, I think that that she is still alive. I think that, or she could be actually with a different tribe rallying to his cause, just basically waiting or to make an appearance. He may not know she's alive, but she may make it. I think she should make it because she's become a really popular character, and I think that they should expand on that, because we didn't see her, nor did we actually see that child, or the kid that was actually following around him. So we don't know. I hope, I really, really hope, man, a hot say what? They keep it going. I really hope that I hope that we actually get a chance to see this character. I really do. I really do. I hope we see her back, and I hope we do expand on the relationship.
Yeah, I really hope so too. And make sure you all hit that like button right here. And listen, in
Yeah.
the middle of this conversation, I'll take this banner off so you can see
Mhm.
the name. If you're not subscribed to Lael here at 16thScaleMan, you absolutely need to do so.
Come on over,
Oh,
man.
yeah, come on. All you first of all, the link to his channel is within the video description below. You can get it that way. Just plug it into YouTube. It'll come right up. You can go to sixscalecantina.com.
Yes.
Links and resources section. He's right in there. Click it.
Yes.
And subscribe. So don't forget to do that while you're clicking the
Yes. And if you're some of
um
my subscribers out there that you're following me on this channel, subscribe to this channel. It's important that you do. You get great content over here, like every week, great content, and that's what it's all about. So do subscribe to the Aries Terrigen Show.
thank you so much, Lael. I do appreciate that. Yes, hit that subscribe button, baby, all around.
Yes.
All right, Django. And
Yes.
what's interesting to me about this
Yes.
is I feel in my gut.
Mhm.
I didn't hear a rumor of this, but I feel like they're going to DH Tamora Morrison,
Yeah.
and he is going to have a scene. I
Mhm.
believe that there was an old comic that kind of simulates young Boba looking out of the window on Camino with the alien woman who
Mhm.
used to, I guess, look after him or whatnot. I feel like that there's
Tonwi?
something. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Say her name again.
Tonwi?
Tanwi.
Yeah.
So, do you think we're gonna? I they keep showing that, just like they kept showing um, Din Djarin in the trench,
Mhm.
and then
Mhm.
eventually we actually saw more of the back of when his parents perished.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is it possible that we're actually going to see Jango Fett come back on Slave One and have flashback interaction within this first season?
You know what? It's interesting that you say that because I was following, because I follow Tamora Morrison, and on his page he actually has a picture of the young new actor who's playing young Boba, that they probably just added the face over whatever, but he has a picture where he's standing next to him. They did a really quick snap together. I mean, the thing is that scene, there is a significance of that scene. There's a reason why we keep seeing it. So I honestly believe that there's going to be a tie-in, and we could see a version of Django come back, and have that conversation or have some sort of conversation with him. So that could actually happen. That can definitely happen, and which is crazy though, because here's my thing. We know now, and which we'll probably talk about later on my show too, but we know now that there is, from what I'm hearing, there's supposed to be another Star Wars figure released before the Chinese New Year ensues. I think
Mm.
if we do get a chance to see, what's going to happen, soon on possibly the next episode, could we actually see him? Could it be Jango? You know what I mean? Could that actually be Jango? It could be anything, but I think we're going to actually see an interaction with Jango. I think we're going to see him back in some form, not as a flashback. It's going to be more so as a flashback. But who knows? Because I don't know. You know what? We're going to revisit this on another show because after what we saw before, remember, we did hear something, when he was inside of the BAFTA tank. We did hear something, today that kind of gave us an inkling like, are we going to see more flashbacks or not?
Mm.
So I don't know. We'll see. We'll
You
see.
know, and we're gonna get into my our Mace thoughts
Mhm.
and some how this ends
Yeah.
thoughts, but I'm gonna pull this up. Imagine that does happen. Can
Mhm.
you imagine if there is a flashback where he actually comes back on the slave one
Mhm.
and maybe Sam Wessel is with him or something else, whatever they go ahead and they do, or it's just himself, and you see that. What does that do to this Hot Toys release? Speaking about Hot Toys here, we didn't even
Mhm.
really get into most of that. We the Aries Character show is always different in
Yeah.
that regard. Like to talk about
Yeah.
films, life, and so on. I just really feel I don't know. This is another gut one
Mhm.
where it makes sense, but could you imagine what that would do to this figure if they were to do it simultaneously?
All I know is I can't wait.
Mm.
Uh, if they do it simultaneously, it'd be the second time they've done it, since um, this guy.
Mm,
So it'd
mhm,
be the
mhm.
second time that they've actually done it. But man, do you know how exciting that would be, bro? Like literally, I can't. This literally this figure right here has been my most anticipated for years now, and to
Mm,
finally get him in hand. Oh my God, that will complete everything for me. You know what I mean? Like as far as Boba Fett is concerned. You know what I mean? So yes, if they did this, it would be phenomenal. It would be welcomed. I would love it, plain and simple. I mean, I can't say any more than that. But again, we already know that we're going to actually get another, even if it's not a flashback within the BAFTA tank. Maybe basically we'll get a flashback of him just remembering a moment, just drifting off and remembering a moment, because they said that everything is going to tie itself together and it's going to all make sense, and that scene does have a level of significance. So I
yeah.
can't wait to see it.
Well, one of the interesting things in here, and with 120 what in here, please don't forget to smash that like button. You are watching the Aries Tarrington show live here on Wednesday evening. And don't forget also with 120 of you in here, 122 now, I am going to be live once again
Mm-hmm.
tonight at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Guess on whose show? Right there.
Let's go.
One
Come
sixth
on
scale
over.
man. Say
Come on
what?
over. Yes.
So make sure you're
Say
all jump
what?
in.
Yes, sir.
All right. So and you talked about this on my show a couple weeks ago. You actually sold me on it
Yep.
because we're talking about putting your eggs, too many eggs in one basket.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And but what I can see, and if they do it right, if they bring Mace back, if they bring Han and Chewie back, Django in a flashback to me seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But let's
Yeah.
talk about these characters. Can you imagine? You don't have to necessarily end every new series the same way.
Yeah. You
But
don't.
can you imagine if they actually and it was appropriate at the end of the finale, if you saw a purple lightsaber light up and some type of robes,
Ooh.
would that be something and you don't see him, but you just see that and the credits roll.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that would go off? I almost feel like that would be more of like, a dog panning for their bone, dangling a carrot,
Yeah.
moving in can set something up, could certainly bring interest. Can you imagine the talk if they don't bring Sam Jackson back, but you see the lightsaber before season 2 of this.
Yo.
Just a lightsaber. That's all I'm talking about.
Just a lightsaber. Like, yo. Listen. We have talked about this for the longest time, and ever since Samuel Jackson has confirmed and that Jango hasn't died, that Jango is still alive somewhere, that, you know, he has survived. We have been talking about, and everybody's been saying, I want Mace. I want Mace. We want Mace. We want to see Mace. I've been saying, like, I wanted to stand on its own 2 feet, but it's not to say that I wouldn't welcome it. If they did it, I would welcome it with open arms. Plain and simple.
I almost feel like we're in for something to that effect. And if I were to guess right now, that would be, unless something crazy happens over the next few episodes, which it might. I mean that they blew me away with this.
It definitely could.
Ahsoka mention of Grand Admiral Thrawn, everything. So who knows? And if they do it right, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this then, moving outside of Han and Chewie, Jango, and Mace, because you know that something's going to happen.
Yeah.
What would be your expectations or thoughts on what we're going to see with the after credits little sneak peek? Because it looks like they're going to they know they have to continue with this now that they've done it with the Mandalorian season 2. So I expect that to be there. What would you think?
You know what would be epic? You would be epic, because I played this out in my head. It would be epic is that at the end of this show, right, we see Boba in now what is called the fire spray. We see Boba in his ship flying through the galaxy. He jumps into hyperspace, finds a planet, lands on this particular planet, has like a beacon, and he's just walking through, him by himself, walking through whatever. And we see him, it's a dark, maybe a tunnel or a dark whatever. He walks through and he finds someone. You just see him basically standing there staring, and this person turns around and says, somehow I knew this day would come. And I knew that you would find me. You want answers. Like, literally, I have all the answers you need. Or if you have any answers or any questions you have, someday I knew this day would come. Somehow I knew this day would come. And then, boom, it ends. That would be incredible.
Oh, man.
That right there would be incredible.
Coffee's God.
They wouldn't have to say any. All they would need to do is say, just have him actually appear, see this cloak, this person turn around, old figure, whatever, and be like, you know what? Somehow I knew this day would come. And that was it. And you don't see nothing else, and you just have to stay tuned for next season if there's going to be. That would be incredible. Literally, I would love that.
And is it possible that fits into the type of what's going on right now with the way that they're directing this show? And I say yes. That is great thoughts there.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. So I'm expecting to see something. It could go exactly like that or very close to it.
Yep.
But I am expecting to see something there. Who knows? Yeah. I doubt it, but they can actually put in 2. They can do that, and then they can try and promote something from Mandalorian. Well, I don't want to give anything. I don't want to give anything away. So let me. You have to. Everyone out there, you have to watch.
Just watch it, and you'll
chapter 4,
and then we'll have a discussion. As a matter of fact, this is what we'll do. Everybody watch it. Aries, next Thursday, if you're not busy, if you have time, jump into Uncivilized Scoundrels and we'll have this conversation and revisit it.
I'd love to do that. Let's pencil me in, because I'd love to go on on that show. So go ahead and pencil me in, because I like to continue.
Definitely. We'll do it, and then everybody tune in. Next
Yes.
Thursday's show, and we'll have this conversation. That would be crazy.
Absolutely. So everybody in here, look forward to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like I'm getting pumped up, and I mean,
Yeah.
they could also just do, but I don't think that they might. But I think it's
Hmm.
going to tie into what's happening in the Book of Boba Fett. They
Yeah.
could do an addition. You
Yeah.
almost think, oh, they're going to do some cutscene for the Obi-Wan series. I don't think they
Yeah.
need to.
No, they don't.
They don't. So I
They
hope
don't.
they don't go that route. If they want to give me an extra one and do that, that's fine.
That's yeah. They
If
don't need to. It's not something that they necessarily have to do. They don't have to give us anything. They can give us something. And to be quite honest, I'm with everybody. I would much rather them see just something new that we just don't we that's unexpected. So
yeah, absolutely. You know, this has been an absolutely fabulous, fabulous, fabulous
yep,
show, Lael. I
yeah,
mean, I feel like we could just keep going for hours, but I know
yeah,
we're going to be on
yeah.
for some
We'll be on,
time.
so we'll probably drag some of this conversation over into the next. I'm pretty sure we will. I'm pretty sure we will.
So listen, with everybody in here, here's what's going to happen tonight. Is it possible that you are going to see Aries on Say What at 9:15 p.m. Eastern? And I say yes. So make sure you get ready for that show. I'm kind of pumped up for it here.
Yes,
Make sure you hit the like button for
yes,
the Aries Tarrington show. And
yes,
don't forget to subscribe to 1/6thScaleMan, who has hit. Congratulations again
yes.
on hitting
Congratulations to you
2K.
too. Definitely, yes,
Absolutely. We've both hit it, baby.
yes. We've done it, and it's only we just gonna keep going up. Let's just keep going, man.
So listen, Lael, besides we all know your show tonight, Say What, 9:15 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to give you some time here. Tell us a little bit about what else is going on at
Well,
1/6thScaleMan.
it's interesting because like right after this show, it's crazy because I'm this is going to be a mix up. Like it's going to be a chop because I'm actually jumping into another show right after this one really quick because we're going to actually talk about Boba, the actual figure 2-pack. So stay tuned for that. It'll be on Jetta's show, Jetta Patrol. He's actually having a live show, so he wants to actually talk about the Boba. So I'll be doing that again tonight. Stay tuned at 9:15 for Say What, where I'll be graced with Aries' presence on there. We're going to talk about figures. We're going to talk about our predictions. We're going to expand on this conversation. Tomorrow night is Uncivilized Scoundrels. We'll be talking about this particular episode in general, particular. And then on Sunday is going to be Take Your Position, where we'll be posing Thor. So stay tuned for that. And then Comic Book Talk with Friends on Monday. Again, another Say What on Wednesday. And then on Civilized Scoundrels, we will have special appearance by Aries himself, and we'll be able to talk about this next episode. Definitely.
Can't wait, baby.
Yes, can't wait. So you can actually find me there. If you haven't already, subscribed to the 1/6thScaleMan YouTube channel, as well as Instagram as well, and also Twitter. Let's go.
Well, that's awesome. And real quick, this super chat came in from Ashley Chase. Thank you so much for the $2.99 drop. Sam Jackson shows up with
Black Panther leather. That'd be incredible. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it really, really would. And thank you so much, for that super chat, Ashley.
Yep.
And Ashley, a great supporter to not only Six Scale Cantina, but to so much of the so many of the content creators. And,
Yes.
and Lael, this was a really
Yes,
I
man,
feel
let's
like
do
this
it
is the
again.
most fun I've had on I have fun on all these shows.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again, bro. We got to do this again.
Absolutely. Yes. How many of you want to see Lael back in here on the Aries Tarrington show? And you all say yes.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it again.
Yeah,
I love this.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So, listen, please subscribe to Six Scale Cantina. Subscribe to my man Lael there, 1/6thScaleMan. Hit the like button, and I will end like this. I don't always buy coffee out, but when I do, I buy from Six Scale Cantina.
Let's go.
Stay thirsty, my friends. See you tonight.
See you later.